hand, pin. Yes. So welcome everyone to the SPCPN movement snack. I will be doing some of the technical kind of holding of space and in theory hosting, but there are many of us in the room. And so please do feel free to use the chat function. I will be monitoring that. But also if there's something that you might want to raise your hand, and if we can catch that in some way, and I'm here to support and make sure that we have a nice healthy full session. So you've seen and maybe heard, or maybe it's popped up, that we are recording the movement snack, especially the introduction, to be shared online afterwards. Feel free to have your camera on or off as you prefer, whatever feels right for you and for your body today. We will turn off the recording for the chat at the end to take some time to have notes and to have a little conversation if that's useful. And that will help us develop the activities for any future kind of events or snacks that we might do, and help us also understand and better understand the impact. There is an impact form at the end, and we will put that in the chat and possibly, I think, send that to everyone via email at a later point. And that would be helpful if you could complete that for all of the reasons we just said. Impact, help us better understand, and also gives you a space and opportunity to share what worked and maybe what could have been a little bit maybe better considered. We do have Eline, our artist practitioner, my friend, colleague in the room, and also Rachel, also another colleague of mine who will be doing the BSL for the movement snack. I have pinned both of them onto my screen, but if you need to pin them onto your screen or just one of them, please do look at your functions. And if you need a little bit of help with that, I can help you. Otherwise, I think it goes to a standard gallery view. Welcome to the SPCPN movement snack. We run these regularly to invite gentle movement into the day. They are developed for people with chronic pain. For those that may or may not have a somatic practice, here's a little bit of an overview. Somatic practices are a set of movement practices that focus not on the appearance of the body, but how it feels. It explores things like breathing, sensing your own body, gentle movement, connecting with your environment and other people. We have a website, and I can put that into the chat a little bit later. We have a movement snack today. We'll have some time to chat at the end also about your experience. Please remember to look after your body and yourself, and take part in ways that suit you and your body and how you're feeling at this very moment. That's very important to us. And if there's any way that I can support you, please do let me know, either during or after as well. I make myself available. And I'll put my email in the chat as well. Today's session is led by Eline, and we're also supported by Lizzie, who's in the space. Lizzie has helped us think through some of the snacks, but also the impact and the forms, and also funding, as is sitting within a very specific, hello, Lizzie. And also Emma. Emma's quietly in the background. She may or may not have stable Wi-Fi, but hopefully she'll be around for the whole snack. We have British Sign Language today by Rachel Tipping. And now we'll continue. So I hand over to Eline. So thank you.
Thank you, Rosa, for this wonderful introduction, and to the network for having me again for this Festival of Social Science movement snack. I think the most important for us today is to really have a conversation with our body in a different way than we might be used to. So I'm going to give a little overview of our time. I think roughly 10-15 minutes introduction so that you know who you're in the room with and where I'm coming from. Then about 20 minutes of gentle movement, which you can do seated or standing or even lying in your bed in your imagination. And like Rosa said, afterwards there's time for reflections, to write some of your experiences down, should you like to ask any questions about this type of movement or anything that you noticed happening in your body. So that would be the short roadmap, as I call it. I will talk a little bit more about body comfort as well, because we are in an online space and a hybrid space, because some of us are live in a room together. I give a little bit of background on Qigong, the movement practice we're going to try today, and also a little bit of insight on traditional Chinese medicine, from which Qigong originates and of which it's one of the 5 healing modalities, if you like. So looking at mindfulness, at movement in a body that experiences pain on a regular basis. So that might bring up lots of things, and we're going to slowly unpack some of those before we try it out. So even now, before we dive in, I'd like to invite you, if you can make yourself even 10% more comfortable than you are, please do that. So maybe you'd like to sit back in your chair. Maybe you notice your belt is a little bit tight after lunch. Maybe your shoes are pinching your toes. Something to say, hello, body, I care for your comfort. Yeah, good. Take a few breaths. Do some wriggling or stretching. And I'd like to encourage that all throughout the talk and the meeting we have now. If at any time you want to get up and stretch, please feel free to do so. Like Rosa already said, if you want to switch off the camera, that's fine. Just really honor the creature that your body is. So I think I'd like to start with movement, having been my passion since I was a little girl. I love to be out in nature and be in my rowing boat, walk in nature and find animal tracks. But I also learned to dance from an early age. And I actually trained to become a professional dancer until I realized I didn't want to put my body under this amount of stress for just the sheer pleasure of others for a night out. And what I really wanted to do is to connect with people and find this movement freedom within themselves and as community together. Now, I've worked with Emma and with Rosa in the academic world. And at some point, I decided to start my own business. So now I am bringing together my passion for movement, for the natural world, for health and well-being, and also for spirituality in my work, which I call Wild Soul. And that is the original life force that moves through who we are, through each of us, that original spark of life. Now, it was when I worked at Coventry University that I was diagnosed with ankylosing spondylitis, which is a condition, an autoimmune condition on the rheumatoid spectrum. So I just wanted to park that I know what it is to be in a body that experiences pain. I know what it is to not be able to sleep because you have so much pain. I had a year that I had to push myself over in the bed because the pain was so strong that I couldn't roll over by my own volition. I had to push myself into a different position. And I really thought the pain was taking over everything. I couldn't couldn't really concentrate. I couldn't do my shopping. I couldn't do my housekeeping. And then slowly, by understanding more about this condition and how actually, even in the NHS, movement is the first medicine for this rheumatoid condition, which affects the bones, mostly in the lower back, that I started to regain my energy and be able to lower the experience of pain. So I just wanted to explain that that is where I'm also coming from that, lived experience of chronic pain. I'm just keeping an eye on the time here. So the title of today's session was Mindfulness in Motion. And that might sound a bit of a contradiction in terms, because for me, at least, mindfulness, I often associate with meditation, and you're sitting still on a pillow, on a meditation cushion. And often when we're in pain, that's the last thing we want to do, that staticness. At the same time, movement might be a little of a stretch as well. Like you're in pain, perhaps movement is the last thing you want to do, or have the motivation to come off the couch or out of bed, or find that movement in your wheelchair to kind of go, okay, I'm going to move in a different way, to shift my mind, to shift my emotions. So when we're looking at pain from a traditional Chinese medicine point of view, it is a signal of disrupted energy flow. So I think one of the easiest examples of this is maybe you have experienced, or you know people with either a frozen shoulder or lumbago, for example, which is initially a very tiny tear in the muscles, either in the shoulders or in the lower back, for example. And then out of protection, the body starts to freeze that part so that the original injury can heal. But what happens is the muscles get fixed. We stop moving because it sends pain signals because the muscles are uncomfortable. And in a way, this is one of the signals where our body says, hang on, something is wrong here. We send a pain signal, but then actually stopping to move is one of the worst things you can do. So from the Chinese perspective, to keep the body in motion is really important. Even if the body's initial impulse is to protect itself by fixing something in place. So movement, like I said, is one of the 5 modalities in Chinese medicine. I always have to peek which the other ones are. They are diet, they are herbal medicine, they are massage, and acupuncture. And so the 5th one is movement. So these are 5 ways that balance is maintained in the body. And in a way, this movement practice is so gentle because we work with the breath, with gentle repetitive movement, which can be very small, and in fact can be as small as simply breathing, and with the imagination. And those 3 layers together mean that we always have a way into the practice. So I have practiced Qigong in a hospital bed, lying there sick with pain, like nauseous with pain, and then returning to the breath and the imagination, for example, inviting a color or a sound. That is also part of Qigong movement. So it doesn't mean when we say movement, we're going to climb a mountain or we have to run a marathon. What I really like about this practice is that it's so accessible, and whatever your energy level or whatever your pain level, there is something that you can almost invite your body into very gently. So I don't know if that gives enough of an overview now. If there are any questions specifically, maybe I should say that the word Qigong literally means the skill, which is Gong, to work with your life force, your energy, which is Qi. So Qi, you can write it either with Qi or Chi. It comes back in things like Reiki, Aikido, all these key words that work with the essential life force, Tai Chi as well. So I don't know if there's any questions on that right now, or any specific things that you would like to experience in this session today, as I'm going to invite us into movement together. And I know that everyone is muted, but if you want to either raise your hand or unmute yourself for a moment, feel free to do so.
Yes, and just a reminder for anyone that's come in, excuse me, Alina, sorry to interrupt. Just a reminder for anyone that's come in, I'm supporting the session. So if you need anything, please also feel free to use the chats. There's the group chat, but you can also message me directly, and I'm here to support you. And I forgot to say that Andrea also has second year students from the liberal arts BA at the University of Leeds working on a project on somatic practices in chronic pain in collaboration with the network. So that's who's in the room with, well, I think there's only one other student now, but yes, so welcome. And welcome to everyone.
Yes,
Yes.
just to say, yeah, it's Maria. So if you see Maria there, it's her
Maria.
students. Yeah,
There's
not
Maria.
Andrew.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, it's fine.
Got my notes. My wires were crossed. So hello, Maria. So I hand over back to Elena.
Yeah, so I'm just looking, there's no messages in the chat, no hands raised. So we're all okay with the information so far. We're ready for a bit of movement. I actually can only see the people in Andrea's room because everyone else has their camera off. So you are the representation of our group. And I know one of your names, I think it's Mark, and the other person I didn't catch. So what I'd like you to do is choose where you want to be while we're going to move. I'm going to get up to my feet. If you can and you want to, please feel free to do that. But all these movements, they can really be done seated. So please feel free to make your own adjustments. I'm going to the light a little further here. So let's start with simply placing our hands on the lower abdomen, hand over hand, about navel height. And just take a moment to feel into your body right now. Just saying hello, body from the inside. Notice if you have any areas of your body that you're specifically aware of. And just with your awareness, send a little bit of love and kindness, either to your knees or to your lower back or anywhere it hurts in the body. Just with your breath, in a way, create a bit of space around that area. Let's shift our attention to the breath, breathing in. You feel your belly expand, your ribs widen, and I invite your chest to lift And as you breathe out, you relax the chest, the ribs, and the belly. In your own breathing rhythm, belly, ribs, and chest on your in-breath. And chest, ribs, belly on the out-breath. And an invitation to feel every in-breath as new energy arriving. And every out-breath as letting go of old energy, of pain, of anything you don't need to carry in this moment. Breathing in, you're topping up. Breathing out, you're letting go. And with that same breathing awareness, we're going to bring that into movement. So we're going to raise the hands past the chest. Turn the palms forward and upward on the in-breath. And lower them the same way on the out-breath. So again, past the chest and all the way down. Breathing in. And breathing out. And if for any reason you can't make the movement with the arms, you just trace this pattern of movement in your imagination. It is called Buddha holding up the earth. This idea of flowing with whatever is happening in your life. And if the breathing, perhaps a little deeper than you are used to, makes you dizzy or lightheaded, then just breathe a little less deep. Last one, we're gently letting the arms float down. Just notice how you feel. Now we're going to bring the fingertips together and placing them just below the collarbones. That is a point on the lung meridian. And we're continuing that deep breathing while circling the elbows. Breathing in as they come up, out as they come down. This movement is called Baby Bird Learns to Fly. It's very good for opening the lung capacity, strengthening the immune system. Also that sense of courage when learning something new. Let's reverse the movement. So we're going down and backwards, up and forwards. Again, breathing in as you go up, out as you go down. Relax the arms down. Let's do a movement for waking up the spine. We're going to roll down the chin. Now you imagine you're rolling down one vertebra at a time. And you're going to lead with the chin upward. And folding the chin to the chest. Rolling down. And breathing in as you come up. And out as you come down. This is called the wave. Oh no, I'm saying that wrong. This is the turtle emerging from the cave. They all have very imaginative names. And again, even if you can do just the top of the back, just moving the neck a little bit, that's absolutely wonderful. There's no need to push, there's no competition, there's just inviting movement into your body. And if you'd like to be a little bolder and you're standing on your feet, you can bring the hips forward here and then bring the chin to the chest. You have even a fuller range of motion in the spine. And then the hips glide forward, chin to the chest, and down. In and out. And as you're moving, imagine that you are that turtle swimming in the ocean. Turtle is one of the symbolic animals for longevity and inner peace. And flowing with the currents of life. And let's pause there. And again, feeling the body from inside. And then another movement for the spine is a gentle turn. And imagine here you're trailing your hands through deliciously warm water. Blue ocean water, perhaps with a sunlight sparkling off it. Feel how the air moves between your fingers and imagine that might be water. Just letting your breath come and go naturally. Following the movement of the spine with the head. And gently coming to a pause. In Qigong, we have this posture with the hands by the hips. And it's called lower embracing the tree. So imagine, even if you're seated, just hold your hands just off your lap. And feel that strength of the tree, the trunk, the roots going down into the earth. And your crown opening to the sun, the rain, the sky. stars, the moon. Even breathing in a posture like this, which doesn't take a lot of energy, it can really top up our resources. It strengthens the container of our body so that we can hold the life force. It's like the banks of the river. River is the chi, the life force flowing, and the banks of the river are the container. I'd like to do a movement that combines some spiraling. And to do that, we take one hand on the back with the palm facing out. And the other hand, let's do the simple version. Let's do the one with the hand on the shoulder. We're going to breathe in, turning through and over that elbow, over that shoulder, breathing in. And as you breathe out, you reach gently to your opposite knee. And whether you're seated or standing again, this is a spiraling movement for the spine. Breathing in and out, feeling a diagonal connection left and right. And your own hand in your back supporting you. Nurturing the kidneys, which in traditional Chinese medicine are the batteries of our body, storehouse of our energy. Let's come back up to center and then change. Other hand on the back. Breathing in, spiraling through the elbow. Breathing out to the opposite knee. And you curl your head with you. In and out. Now, Qigong really originated by observing nature. And the spiraling movement is one of the most efficient ways of nature to transport energy. And here you can imagine drawing energy from your feet all the way up through your body. And again, grounding it to the earth. Last one. And coming back to the center. Again, feeling and embracing the tree. Roots. Trunk. Your branches or your crown open to the sky. And I'd like to finish with it's one of my favorite flows. It's called Tiger Returns to the Mountain. So we're going to, as if we're caressing the earth, we're bringing the backs of the hands together, rolling up to the heart, pushing forward gently, and then opening the arms in a big circle, connecting to your center. And again, caressing the earth, the ground. Backs of the hands together, roll up the spine to the heart. Gently press forward as you breathe out. Again, release old energy. Breathing in, feel your connection with the natural world, the social world. Coming back to that energy field in your body. And the ground, breathe out. Breathe in, backs of the hands together, roll up. Breathe out, letting go. Breathe in, connect. Back into that chi ball, as we say. And to the ground. We do that a few more times, and imagination here. Tiger returns to the mountain. So a creature of strength in its natural habitat. What does that mean for you? It could also be mean the seagull flying wild on the cliffs, wild and free. Or the seal swimming in the ocean, flowing. Just like to invite a movement, a natural movement, a creature that perhaps you have special affinity with. You invite that natural flow into your body, into your movement. Do it 2 more times. Be curious. That's the last one. Breathing out into the chi bowl. Bringing your hands over your center. And just gently rubbing in this movement with your own life force energy into your lower dantian, your lower energy center. And feel it go where it needs to go, trusting the self-healing capacity of the body. You just want to take a little moment to write a few keywords down, what you experienced. You can also do that in the chat if you like. And just gently, without breaking your experience, without breaking your flow, make your way back to our circle. While you integrate, you keep breathing, keep moving, keep being with your body as a companion. And whenever you feel ready, come back to the screen if that feels right for you. And keep sending that delicious breath deep into your body. So we have a time for sharing, for questions, for answers. If we have any answers, it would be wonderful.
Thank you, Elina. Thank you. I think at this point, we will stop the recording so that we can take some notes. Also, people can feel that they can share and speak a bit more freely if they want, or have their camera on. So thank you, everyone, and thank you, Elina, for guiding us through and reminding us about the breath. And kind of, I love the moving back into the room and to the seats and chairs. So thank you for that. So I will stop the recording and then invite anyone to use the chat or the camera to speak with Elina.